storms today, but also the potential for some of those storms to be severe. I'm mainly concerned with a hail threat, maybe some hail up to the size of golf balls, and a wind threat, 60, 70 mile an hour winds. Does that mean every single one of you will see severe weather, everybody will see hail, everybody will see wind? Absolutely not. But the potential is there, the threat is there today, and that is why we have that watch until 8 o'clock this evening. We'll talk a little bit more about this coming up in a minute, but tornado threat's low. It's not zero, but it is low. We're headed into late April here. This time of the year when we have severe weather, that tornado threat is hardly ever absolutely zero. And today's one of those days. It's not my primary concern, but it's not zero either, so we'll be watching everything closely for you. Much more concerned with a wind and hail threat today. So let's talk about the timing. And if I'm looking off to the side, it's because I have another monitor over here, and that's where I'm controlling my graphic situation. So at the moment, not a ton going on. We do have a few little thunderstorms that have formed here or there. I'm going to switch to kind of what we call the high resolution radar here, and I'll pause it. We do have this kind of strongest thunderstorm at the moment. It's this one that's formed just north of Granbury right now. Kind of headed up into Tarrant County. I don't see anything overly concerning with it at the moment. There might be some small hail in it, but it is not severe. Otherwise, it would have a severe thunderstorm warning on it. So that's kind of where, a little storm out toward Breckenridge, some other activity trying to get going down towards Stephenville, a couple little showers, maybe some thunderstorms up toward Bonham and Paris at the moment. But basically what's going to happen the rest of the day today is I do expect storms to increase in coverage, and I think most of you will see rain or will see thunderstorms before the afternoon and evening is over. That doesn't mean that every single one of you will see severe weather, but I think there's a good chance for most of you to see thunderstorms before the day is over, and I'm basically going to show you that right now. So here's 1 o'clock. That's only 10 minutes from now. This is our TIMECAST, one of our computer models to show what's going on. Watch what happens between 1 and 2. We really get kind of an increase in thunderstorm activity and in coverage, especially kind of west of DFW. There's some scattered storms from Decatur to Denton to Gainesville, but then kind of remember that one little storm down near Granbury? The models are kind of picking up on that activity, that this is maybe a little bit more favored location, kind of areas southwest of DFW that could see an uptick in thunderstorm activity as we head through the afternoon here. So there's 2. Watch what happens at 3, a little bit more thunderstorm activity. At that point, there's one maybe north of Fort Worth. There's one down near Waco. There's one kind of between Dallas and Terrell. Now, this is just what one of our models is saying. So does that mean that that storm will absolutely be there north of Fort Worth at 3? No, it could be near Cleburne, or it could be near Hillsboro. But you get the idea that we're expecting an increase in coverage through the rest of the day today. So I think for DFW, your storm chances start here probably in the next 10 minutes or so, but not everybody will see them in the next 10 minutes. But that's kind of the start of the window of opportunity to see storms the rest of the day today. And for DFW, I think it's from 1 to 8, somewhere in that window. 1 to 8 o'clock is when you'll see storms. And I know that's a big window, but that's just what we're dealing with today. Because, watch TIMECAST here. So those 3, 4 storms are still out there. At 4, 5, it's much of the same. 6, we're starting to get maybe that activity pushing off to the east at that point. And I think by 7, 8 o'clock, most activity is east of DFW and East Texas, and over kind of into Northeast Texas there. So that's why I was saying I think between now and 8 o'clock, pretty much all of North Texas, and especially DFW, has a good chance at seeing a thunderstorm or 2 or 3. Not every one of those will be severe, but there is a chance for maybe 1 or 2 of them to be severe in your area with that hail threat. Hail maybe up to the size of ping pong balls. Remember, in order for a storm to be considered severe, it has to have hail quarter size or bigger, like the size of a quarter you put in a Coke machine. That type of quarter size or bigger makes a storm severe. Almost every one of these storms will probably have pea to dime, maybe even to nickel-sized hail. But you need that quarter-size hail or bigger to become considered a severe storm. On the hail side, you also need winds of almost 60 miles an hour or stronger, or if a storm is producing a tornado, that definitely makes that storm severe as well. So, if I know everybody, like I said earlier, I'm sorry I cannot see your comments. Facebook in all of its glory decided to not let me see your comments for some reason today. I am live, obviously, but I cannot see your comments. And then even when I pull them up on my phone, it never works, and so I can't see your comments. But I know you're probably asking what time in Arlington, what time in Garland, what time in McKinney. Between 1 and 8 o'clock. Probably more so mid to late afternoon for most of you. So that's what I was saying. I mean, there's 2, there's 3. This model says McKinney's seeing a storm, but Cleburne's not. Could it be the reverse of that? Absolutely. So that's the situation that we're dealing with today. It's not a line of storms where I can give you that exact timing, and then it's not individual storms like we've had at times this year, where you have, just 1 or 2 or 3 supercells out there. This is a situation where pretty much everybody, it's messy. I mean, look how messy that is. Pretty much everybody's going to see rain or thunderstorms in North Texas today, and a handful of those at any point during the day will be severe, mainly with that hail threat and mainly with that wind threat as well. And then by 7, 8 o'clock this evening, most of that activity will move off to the east, and that's why that severe thunderstorm watch only runs until 8 o'clock this evening, is because of that. Now, there is a threat for another round of storms, maybe up near the Red River during the nighttime hours after 10 o'clock or so. There's 10. We kind of get this cold front moving in, and after 10, midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, there might be a line of storms up near the Red River, but it looks like that's where those are going to stay, and they do not make their way down into DFW. But if you're up near the Red River, you could see kind of 2 rounds of storms today. First round is this round through the afternoon into the evening, and then another round this evening and into tonight as that cold front arrives after 10 o'clock. But that's only for areas along the Red River. I think those storms will stay north of DFW. For DFW, it's on and off thunderstorms the rest of the afternoon into the evening, with some of them being severe with that wind and hail threat. Like I mentioned earlier, I know some of you have been in and out, but I'll say it again. The tornado threat with any of this activity today is low. It's not 0, but it is low. I'm much more concerned about a wind and hail threat. You see how messy all this is today? It's just clusters of storms. It may be an individual storm here or there. It's a very messy setup today, and that does help lessen the tornado threat. If we had isolated storms today, and if the sun was out for sure, I would be much more concerned about a tornado threat today. But I'm not. I'm more concerned about a hail threat and a wind threat with any thunderstorms. Now, it's late April. Is the tornado threat 0? No. It's hardly ever 0 this time of the year, but it's not my primary concern, and it's not something I think any or all of you need to be overly worried or freaking out about. No. But is there a chance that, yeah, we might have a tornado warning somewhere in North Texas before 8 o'clock this evening? Sure. But there's also a reason why a severe thunderstorm watch was issued today instead of a tornado watch, because the threat for hail and wind is much, much higher, and that tornado threat is much, much lower. Therefore, the threat is for severe thunderstorms instead of tornadic thunderstorms. That's what we're dealing with today. It's going to be inconvenient. We're going to have storms around today. Yes, some of them will likely be severe. Some of you will see hail. Some of you will see strong winds. But honestly, for mid to late April, this is just what we get this time of the year. I mean, this is just April storms. These happen all the time this time of the year, and we'll probably see another round or 2 or 3 before we end severe weather season, which the peak of our severe weather season in North Texas is April and May. Of course, we can get strong storms any time of the year, but April and May is really the peak of our severe weather season here in North Texas, and that's what we're dealing with today. It's just kind of your typical severe weather. I mean, that's really it. It's worth paying attention to. It's absolutely worth staying weather aware. It's worth keeping the WFAA app in your pocket so you can get those weather alerts. It's worth keeping up with all of us on social media as well. But it's not worth freaking out about or being overly panicked or overly worried about it all. It just means stay weather aware, know where you're going to be through the rest of the afternoon into the evening. If you have any outdoor plans, you should be making indoor plans, or at least a indoor alternative for those plans, because storms are pretty much guaranteed later on today. But that's what I'm saying by weather aware. It's just, you know, keeping a level mind and just knowing what's going on the rest of the day today. So kind of, this is what I call the storm window. It's when will the storms be out there. It's not when they're going to arrive. It's when they're going to be out there. And between now and about 4 o'clock, it's western North Texas. I kind of touched on this earlier. For DFW, it's between 1 and 8 o'clock this evening. Could, you know, some of you not see storms until 5? Sure. Could some of you see a storm here in the next hour? Absolutely. Could you see 2 rounds? Yes. That's just what we're dealing with today. Then between about 3 to 10 o'clock this evening for areas east of DFW and over into East Texas. Let's check back in with what's going on outside at the moment. Yeah, so we still got this thunderstorm here that's moving into Tarrant County at the moment. Still nothing severe with that one, kind of between Weatherford, Benbrook, right on top of Aledo at the moment. We're getting close to Aledo. Let me kind of put it. No, I'm trying to. Oh, I don't want to do that because you're going to see a bunch of stuff. I think Jesse's about to do a cut in here on the TV. So if you want to hear what he has to say, just tune into WFAA. I'll have to shut up here in a second. No cut in? All right, we're checking on cut-in times here. So getting to be that time of day, we got to start balancing this stuff. So there's, you know, this is really the only storm of concern right now, and even then, it's not severe yet, but it could be. It could grow to become severe as we head through the next hour or so, or even next 10, 20 minutes or so. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one coming up here. I'm going to do one thing so I can check something. I'm going to put this in camera full mode for a second because I got to update a couple graphics here, and I don't want y'all to, not that I care what you see what I'm doing, but it's just distracting if you can see that. That's probably too fast. Let's try 45. All right, now we can go back to picture in picture. There we go. I was just going to put a maybe a little storm track on kind of the leading edge of this. Kind of looks like it's moving up that way. Did I get that right? Maybe a little too far north. Let's try this. Maybe more like that. That's close enough. So there you go. There's kind of the timing for that little storm. Remember, once again, it is not severe at the moment, but it could become severe. It probably has some small hail in it right now, maybe dime to nickel size. But if it gets quarter size hail or bigger, then it'll become severe, and a severe thunderstorm warning will be issued for it. So that's what we're watching. That's really the only storm of concern right now. But as I mentioned, and as I showed you earlier, if you've been watching, I do expect us to see a real uptick in coverage. You know, there's 2. This is our computer model. 3, 4. We are going to see a lot more storms out there from a coverage standpoint the rest of the day today. And then some of those will be severe at times. I think we'll kind of be dealing with a situation where, you know, one becomes severe, then it weakens, and then another one in another area becomes severe, and then it weakens, and another one in another area becomes severe. Just kind of these up and down pulsing thunderstorms. So it doesn't necessarily mean that every single one of you will see a severe thunderstorm today, or that storm will be severe when it moves over your location. But pretty much everybody has a good chance at seeing thunderstorms throughout the day today, or throughout the afternoon into the evening. Remember, from now through about 8 o'clock. Jesse is about, are you about to do a cut-in? He has 2 minutes. I will, might turn this thing around so you guys can watch him do his thing. If you want to watch it in real time, turn to WFAA. Just tune in to WFAA. Let me go back to full screen. Or I'll do that once he starts doing his cut-in. The joys of live, Facebook Live. Reminder, we do have that, and he's going to talk about it too. Severe thunderstorm watch until 8 o'clock this evening. Still mainly concerned with hail and wind for our severe threats today. There's a reason why it's a severe thunderstorm watch and not a tornado watch. If tornadoes were a higher threat today, it would be a tornado watch. We don't have a tornado watch. We have a severe thunderstorm watch. So our concerns today are hail and wind. And yes, the tornado threat is not zero, but it is much lower than those two threats. And once again, that's why we have a tornado, or don't want to say that, a severe thunderstorm watch in place instead of a tornado watch. It's late April. This time of the year when we get severe weather, that tornado threat's hardly ever absolutely zero. Today's one of those days, but it is not my primary concern at this point. Doesn't mean it's not impossible. There is that chance, but it is a low chance, and the chance of you seeing a severe storm with wind and hail is much higher than you seeing a storm with a tornado in it. That is absolutely for certain. So that's what we're dealing with today. I am going to put you into full screen mode here. And let you watch Jesse do his thing. You okay with that, Jesse? Yeah. Oh, technical difficulties there. That's a bummer. So you get to keep listening to me, I guess. And once again, if you just joined us, I know we still have quite a few people watching here. Facebook, in all of its glory, has decided to not let me see y'all's comments today. Every now and then, when I do a Facebook Live, it does this. So if you've been commenting and you're doing it with 1,000 question marks because I didn't, and I haven't answered your question or acknowledged you or something like that, I apologize. I just can't see your comments. And if I try and pull them up on my phone and like join and watch on my phone, it massively messes up. Like, it just tells me all the people that are watching, and it'll show me like 1 or 2 comments every now and then. So I apologize. I'm not ignoring everybody on purpose here. It's just that I can't see y'all's comments. And obviously, and honestly, with so many of you watching right now, we had over 2,000 people watching earlier. I think almost 2,500 watching earlier. When it's like that, your comments are going by like, it looks like going into hyperspace on in Star Wars, the way the comments are going by. So I can't keep up with them. So if you've been commenting and I've ignored you, it's not because I'm doing it on purpose. I literally just can't see your comments, so I apologize on that. And I know typically the questions are what time, what to expect, and I hope that I've covered all that for you. And basically the timing is between now and 8 o'clock for the DFW area. And then the threats are hail and wind with any severe storm. Doesn't mean that everybody in that severe thunderstorm watch or everybody in North Texas is going to see severe storms, but there will likely be severe storms out there today. Main threats with those, wind and hail. Tornado threats low, but it is not zero. So these are all things that we'll be watching throughout the day today. And at the moment, we continue to watch this storm headed up toward Fort Worth right now. So Fort Worth, you're in Benbrook right now. It's raining. You're seeing some lightning, some heavy rain, maybe some small hail headed your way as well. But we do not have any severe storms outside at the moment. That will likely change as we head through the afternoon here, but at the moment, none of this activity is severe. The most concerning storm at this point is this one kind of on the Tarrant-Parker County line, basically on top of 377 between Annetta and Aledo and Benbrook right now. And if it keeps intensifying, it probably will warrant a severe thunderstorm warning, but right now, it does not. It is not considered severe at the moment, but it's headed up toward west sides of Fort Worth, White Settlement. I mean, it's pretty much already in Benbrook. West Fort Worth, eventually Saginaw, North Fort Worth, Haltom City, potentially south sides of maybe Eagle Mountain Lake there. Those are the areas that'll see this storm. Let me put another track on it. Kind of zoom back in since I did this earlier. Something like this, maybe. There's kind of some timing for you. just warrants staying indoors, not heading out and, driving right into that thunderstorm. I mean, that's what I would suggest. We just got a radar update. There we go. I knew something was wrong. So the timing for this is kind of the leading edge, or kind of when the worst of that storm will arrive. For Fort Worth, it's here in the next 10 minutes or so, and really it's kind of 35 and west for Fort Worth. Obviously, Fort Worth's big area, but kind of 35 and west for Fort Worth, and then North Fort Worth, the whole 820 area around North Fort Worth, Northwest Fort Worth, eventually up into Saginaw, about 125, South Lake maybe a little closer to 140. It keeps going up toward Flower Mound by close to 150 or so, are the timing with that storm there. Let me get rid of that track. Let me zoom out a little bit. We also got, there's some other little thunderstorms popping up here or there, but nothing that I would consider concerning at the moment. But we'll be watching all of these to see if they can potentially develop into anything severe, because we are expecting that uptick in coverage and intensity as we head through the day today. Because like I've been showing you, if you've been watching here on these models, on our computer models, they are showing increase in coverage and intensity by 2, 3, 4 o'clock. You really see, there's 4 o'clock. Look at that radar, forecasted radar, compared to what's going on outside right now. Yeah, a lot more coverage, a lot more thunderstorms out there. Like I've been saying, it doesn't mean every single one of those will be severe, but there's a good chance that a handful of them will be, with wind and hail being the main threats. Probably, if I had to rank them, hail, wind, and then much lower would be that tornado threat, not being 0, but being on the low side there. I think I'm going to wrap this up, and that way I can help Jesse, because we are starting to do some cut-ins here, and I need to help out in some other areas. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. Just stay weather aware the rest of the day today. Remember to follow all of our social media channels. Search for me, search for Jesse, search for Pete on any and all of our social media channels. Download the WFAA app. You get warnings sent straight to your phone right there. You can also access the radars from that app. Our website, great resource as well. All those things. Just stay weather aware today. Indoor plans the rest of the day today, probably a good idea. If you do have something outdoors, or you do have plans this evening and into tonight, stay weather aware, be safe. Don't be driving. Check the radar before you go anywhere. Don't be just driving out and not having known what you're driving into or what is happening between you and your destination. Like, for safe, if you drive from Waxahachie to Dallas at 5 o'clock this evening, just be very, very careful. And then check check what's going on before you do something like that. I would, if you can not do it or put it off till later, that's a good idea. But I know everybody's got plans, everybody's got stuff going on. Some stuff, people have to work. I get it. So just be careful the rest of the day today. And then a reminder, by 7, 8 o'clock, all of this should be out of here. That's why that severe thunderstorm watch does run until 8 o'clock this evening. It's not like until midnight or 1 in the morning. It's because by 7, 8 o'clock, we do expect most of this activity to be moving out of that pink area, and our severe threat should be winding down and pretty much done for the day for most of you. And by tomorrow, no storms. Weekend, absolutely gorgeous. Does look like a chance. We could have maybe another chance at some severe weather Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll worry about that when we get closer, and we'll worry about that after we get done with today. So thank you for watching. Once again, I'm sorry that I couldn't read your comments. I couldn't, address you directly. Facebook just messing up today, and I didn't want to restart this Facebook Live and lose the entire audience. So apologies if you asked a question, I didn't address it directly. That's what we're dealing with today. So thank you all for watching. We'll probably do another one of these at some point later on today, either with me, Jesse, or Pete. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, the app, website, our social media channels, great ways to get any and all information. So stay safe, everybody. Have a good Friday. And I'm sure we'll
at 15. Abilene, cloudy, 72, southeast at 16. Waco, fog, 70, southeast at 9. Tyler, cloudy, 74, southeast at 15. Once again at 1 p.m., DFW Airport, cloudy, 69, southeast at 9. Now let's...
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila, and we want to cut into your not your program. We want to cut into your commercial break here to bring you the latest on our severe weather potential here this evening. And we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for all of North Texas until 8 o'clock. And that's because the thunderstorm activity is really going to start increasing here over the next few hours. And we're seeing that right now as we take a look at radar here. You can see thunderstorms really coming together. Nothing at this moment is severe, but we do have a strong thunderstorm there in southwest Tarrant County. And we'll have crews out watching these thunderstorms all day long, but this one here near Benbrook could be producing some dime to nickel size hail, some gusty winds up to 50 miles an hour. Now remember, to get a severe thunderstorm warning, we need quarter size hail or larger, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is starting to move through Fort Worth, and the latest track on that will show you that it moves through the Dallas-Fort Worth area very quickly. The storm's moving about 50 miles an hour. Bedford 127, DFW 136, Dallas 148, Addison 152, and Garland 201. We will keep you updated here on air and, of course, online at WFAA.com.
Will increase in coverage and intensity this afternoon. Some storms will become severe with large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes all possible. The best storm chances will be along and east of Interstate 35, but severe storms are still possible west of Interstate 35. A second round of storms will be possible along the cold front tonight near the Red River. Damaging winds will be the primary threat with these storms. Storms will come to an end from west to east early Saturday morning. Spotter activation is likely this afternoon and evening, mainly along and east of the Interstate 35 corridor. And now the hazardous weather outlook for Saturday through Thursday. Storm chances are expected again late Tuesday through early Thursday, and some strong to severe storms will be possible. Significant weather advisory for southwestern Tarrant County until 1:45 p.m. At 1:12 p.m., Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Benbrook, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. Penny-sized hail and winds in excess of 40 miles an hour will be possible with this storm. Locations impacted include Fort Worth, Arlington, Halton City, Benbrook, Saginaw, White Settlement, Forest Hill, River Oaks, Sansom Park, Lake Worth, Eagle Mountain, Edgecliff Village, Westworth Village, Blue Mound, Edgecliff, and Westover Hills. A severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 8 p.m. for north central Texas. The current time is 1:16 p.m. Central Daylight Time. You are listening to NOAA All Hazards Radio, the voice of the National Weather Service, station KEC 55, serving the Dallas-Fort Worth listening area. The following reports of weather temperature and wind were made at 1 p.m. DFW Airport, cloudy, 69, dew point 62, relative humidity 78%, wind southeast at 9, pressure 29.82 inches and falling. Fort Worth Meacham, cloudy, 66, southeast at 13. Dallas Love Field, cloudy, 71, southeast at 8, gusting to 18. Arlington, cloudy, 71, east at 10. Denton, cloudy, 66, southeast at 13. Mineral Wells, light rain, 65, southeast at 13. Elsewhere around the region, Wichita Falls, cloudy, 63, southeast at 15. Abilene, cloudy, 72, southeast at 16. Waco, fog, 70, southeast at 9. Tyler, cloudy, 74, southeast at 15. Once again at 1 p.m., DFW Airport, cloudy, 69, southeast at 9. Now let's check on your local forecast for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Severe thunderstorm watch 98 in effect until 8 p.m. this evening. This afternoon, showers and thunderstorms. Some thunderstorms may be severe with heavy rainfall. Not as cool times in the lower 70s. Southeast winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Chance of rain 90%. tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening, then partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and perhaps an isolated thunderstorm after midnight. Some thunderstorms may be severe with heavy rainfall. Some thunderstorms may be severe with heavy rainfall. Lows in the mid-50s. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, becoming west after midnight. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-70s. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. The hazardous weather outlook through tonight for North Texas. This afternoon and tonight. Thunderstorms are expected will increase in coverage and intensity this afternoon. Some storms will become severe, with large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes all possible. The best storm chances will be along and east of Interstate 35, but severe storms are still possible west of Interstate 35. A second round of storms will be possible along the cold front tonight near the Red River. Damaging winds will be the primary threat with